Welcome back to Mona's Take. I am your host, Mona Rose, and we are here to talk about everything reality TV. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything I have coming up. And don't forget to share. This episode is going to be on Survivor. I'm kind of going to be going over episode 4 and 5 a little bit, not all of 4, but I missed it doing a video on that, and I have a few takes on that, so stick around. People are acting on a whole nother level on that, so I can't wait to see that karma train coming through. Choo-choo, mood of the day, really? You gotta give us more credit than that. Some people, buckle up, buttercup. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Alright, on episode 4, we saw where Coco had to go to tribal for the first time. The whole season, the first time at tribal council. Lindsay was one of my picks, and she would have been fine if she would have just kept her mouth shut. If she had not have gotten paranoid, Gio would have went home. It was a done deal. But once she found out they had to go to tribal council, she started spiraling and just lost her ever-loving mind. Carla and James on that tribe are running that tribe. And they would have stuck with Lindsay. But no, she had to lose her damn mind. So she was the one, unfortunately, that went home. We saw that Ellie and Gabler were really starting to rub each other the wrong way. Gabler thinks he's running things. Ellie thinks she's running things on the Baca tribe. Which I think Ellie's playing, I say too hard, too fast, but this season with 28 days, number one, I told you guys, I hate the 28-day thing. It's too fast. We don't actually get to see the competitive side and the scheming side and all of that because everything's crammed into 28 days. Plus, they have this stupid journey thing that they're doing, so that takes up half the time. I think Ellie just needs to watch it, because I think Ellie's going to be the next one to go from that tribe, if she's not careful. Vesey, we saw them do a complete turnaround. They've been losing and losing and losing. They were the only tribe with 4. But those 4 seem to work really well together. It seems to be a cohesive group as of now. And on the Coco tribe, Gio and Ryan think they're running things. When we saw them go to the first tribal council, when Gio said, I just have to trust in my people. He didn't say alliance, he said my people. That would have, if I didn't consider myself one of his people, that would have put a target on his back. And I think Ryan and Gio think that they have this thing going. It's in the bag. But I think they're actually going to find out differently. So that was all from episode 4. Episode 5. We started off back at the code. Episode 5. We started back at the Coco tribe after tribal council. And everyone voted out Lindsay. But I think there was one vote. Yeah, there was one vote that was cast on, is it Chastity? She wanted to know who the vote was when they got back from tribal council. And Ryan said, we can talk about it if you want. Well, Gio quickly grabbed her and said, no, I think I need to talk to you. I was the one that cast the vote. Take a walk with me. So he takes a walk with her on the beach and basically says, yeah, I was the one that voted against you, but it was Ryan's idea. So Gio threw Ryan right under the bus. And Cassidy is like, okay, well, you know, at least I know now. So they're on her radar, because if you're going to write my name down, I'm going to write your name down. All right, so we get back at the Baca tribe, and Janine, and Ellie are looking for an idol, advantage, whatever. Jeannie finds it. It's the Beware advantage. She's like, I don't know if I want to open it. You know, kind of need our vote. We may have to go to tribal council again. I want to have my vote. And Ellie says, oh, it don't matter. We've got it in the bag. We've got the numbers. You can open it and you'll be fine. Even if we don't have your vote, we've got enough to do what we need to do. Everybody's on the same page. So Ellie talks her into opening it. Well, of course, it's the one with the beads. Get all these beads from everybody, and it makes an idol. And they're talking about not telling anybody about it. And Ellie says, especially not Owen. Even though Owen thinks he's working with us, he's just a number, so we don't want to tell him about it. Well, about that time, guess who walks up? Owen. So they're caught. They have to tell him that they found it. They tell him about the beads that they have to get. And for a brief moment, he was like, I could really screw this up, and I could tell the guys not to give her a bead, and then we can vote her out, and I can go with the guys. Or I can help her get this idol, and I can stay with the girls. So he decides he's going to help her get the idol, and he's going to stay with the girls. Well, then Ellie is seen walking on the beach with Sammy, and she tells Sammy about it. Because, you know, it's supposed to be Ellie, Jeannie, and Jeannie, I think it's Janine. Anyway, and Sammy and Owen are supposed to be working together, and Gabler's on the outs. And they're still trying to convince him that his idol that he has is not any good anymore, which it is till his next tribal council. So she's telling Sammy. Well, Sammy didn't have time to tell Gabler. Everybody but Gabler hands over their beads, no problem. And Gabler has this pouch, and he has a lot of beads that he's been collecting from where, I don't know. But he was going to make something for his daughter. So he hands her 2 green beads, but she needs the specific big yellow bead. And she says, oh, but I really like that one right there. And he's like, no, you know, that I'm going to make a bracelet for my daughter. I was saving that one for her. And so we think, okay, he's not going to get that bead. Well, she kept on, and Gabler gave in. Sammy didn't have time to tell him. So then Sammy and Gabler are sitting on the beach, and Sammy says, we just gave her an idol when we gave her those beads. And Gabler said, like a fake idol? And he's like, no, like a real idol. Like she found the Beware advantage, and it's an idol once she gets all the beads from everyone. And he's like, so we just handed her a freaking idol. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I didn't have time to tell you. I'm sorry. It happened so quickly. You had already given it to her. I couldn't say anything. So, that one thing I have to say, I miss the days of Survivor when they had to actually go out and look for idols, and they kept their mouths shut. They didn't tell everybody in the tribe what was going on. You've got 6 people. If you go to tribal, like I said before, with this shortened season, there's nowhere to hide. I like it better when they had the 2 tribes starting out, and they went a while before the merge. I mean, we're into episode 5, and it looks like the merge is going to be this week, which is episode 6. Like, come on. But they just don't keep their mouth shut. Everything is told. I was listening to Rob as a podcast. I was listening to Rob, and he said that, he's like me. I miss the days where people were strategic and didn't tell everything they knew. He's like, I guess it's the new way of playing or whatever. And he's like, well, then, you look at Gabler. Gabler's older, and he's still telling everything he knows. Nothing is kept close to the vest. And if you have advantages and if you have idols, you are going to be a target at some point. So why let people know that you have that? Keep it in your pocket. Keep it quiet. If your name starts coming around and you start getting the vibe that you need it, then you play it. But don't tell everybody on your tribe you have it. Because either they're going to vote you out by convincing you that it's not you, or they're going to flush out that idol or the advantage, whichever one it may be. Okay, so then we get to the immunity challenge. And it's immunity and reward challenge. The first tribe to finish gets a big tarp. Second tribe gets a smaller tarp, plus their immunity. Vesey pulled it out again. Like, those four are really working good together. They killed it. They had to knock a bunch of blocks off, and then you had to walk on 2 of the blocks to get to the end. Then you had like a carnival game where you had these 3 balls. You had to roll them up a ramp, and then on the top of the ramp it was flat. So you had to roll them up the ramp and make them sit on that flat part without rolling off or back down or whatever. They killed it. They come in first place. It's between Baca and Coco at that point for second. Now Ryan is throwing the balls. He's already got 2 up there. You need 3. Baca has 1. He has 2 up there. And he keeps throwing, and they keep telling him throw to the other side because the 2 balls were on the left side. And they kept telling him throw to the right, throw to the right. He kept throwing to the left. Well, he ended up knocking the 2 balls that he had up there off and had to start all over again. So Baca ended up winning the second immunity and the second smaller tarp reward. Well, then Bessie has to pick 1 person from Baca, 1 person from Coco, and 1 person from their tribe to go on the journey. So going on the journey is Janine, Gio, and Jesse. And the whole ride over there, Gio's trying to convince them that he is on the bottom and that he really needs this advantage. So he's trying to basically talk them into not risking their votes so that he can get the advantage. Well, they get over there and all 3 of them ends up risking their vote. And they don't know right then whether they got anything or whether they didn't till they get back to their tribes. In the meantime, Ryan is seen back at camp for Coco talking to the camera. He threw the competition on purpose so that he could get Cassidy out. Who the hell does that at this point in the game? Then he starts telling everybody except for Cassidy, act like it's me who wrote it out because I'm the one that messed with the challenge. Act like it's me. Act like it's me. It's going to be Cassidy, but act like it's me. And he starts putting on this whole production. He thinks, like I said, him and Gio think that they're running that side, that tribe. But they're not. To be perfectly honest, Carla and James are running that tribe. Everybody else just doesn't know it yet. So Carla and Cassidy and James get together and they're going to vote out Ryan. Well, then everybody comes back to camp. And Jeannie goes off and opens hers, sees that she didn't win anything, so she puts it back in there, and then goes and opens it in front of her tribe and acts like she's surprised, that she didn't win anything, and that she lost her vote. And then Jesse, he does the same, kind of the same thing. He opened it in front of his tribe. It's like everybody knows what the journey is at this point, so no way to really hide what's going on, which I don't like. I don't like this journey thing. If it was something different every time, that would be one thing. But when it's the same thing and everybody already knows what it is, how are these people supposed to hide that they have an advantage, or that they have this or they have that? So Gio gets back to camp. He tells all of his people that he risked it and he lost it. He didn't win anything. But Gio actually did win the advantage, and it was the knowledge is power advantage. Where if you know someone has an idol or an advantage, you can ask them at tribal council. They can't lie to you if they have it. If they have one, I'm not going to say if they have one. If they have it on them, they can't lie to you about it. But they can hand it off to somebody else if they get wind that you're going to ask. We've seen that. The knowledge is power has not been used correctly one single time since they started it. So he wins the knowledge is power, but he's telling everybody that he didn't get anything. Well, he makes the mistake of telling Carla about his advantage because he thinks him and Carla are working together. And Carla's at first, she's like, oh, that's great. That's a great advantage to have. And then she gets to thinking about it. She's like, wait a minute. I have an idol. He could use it against me. But nobody knows that Carla has the idol. Except for James. I think he's the only one that actually knows. If that, I don't even know if he knows. I think Carla kept that to herself. I don't remember. But she's like, wait a minute. He could use that against me. He's got to go. So they were all planning on voting Ryan out. Well, Carla flipped it and got them all against Gio. Saying he lied, he's got this advantage, he lied to us, da-da-da-da-da. So they get to tribal council, and Ryan and Gio are just giddy. Like they've pulled off this big coup to get Cassidy out. Comes time to vote, Gio ends up being the one going home. And the look on Gio and Ryan's face, because they were the only ones that didn't know that he was going home, they were so blindsided. And Gio went home with the advantage in his pocket. And this is why you don't tell people what the hell you have. Because if he had kept his mouth shut, it would have been Ryan that went home. And he would have still been there. Just like if Lindsay had kept her mouth shut, it would have been Gio that went home and she'd still be there. I often wonder how long these people have been watching Survivor. Because the last, 4 seasons maybe, have been... The last 4 seasons have just been diarrhea of the mouth. Basically going home because you made it happen, not because somebody else did. Lindsay took the target off of Gio and put it on herself. Gio took the target off of Ryan and put it on himself. It's like, what are you doing, people? I figured now would be a good time to update my list. Told you guys at the beginning, I picked 3 people from each tribe. For Bessie, I picked Cody, Nika, and Dwight. Nika's gone from that tribe, so that's one of mine that's gone. From Coco, I picked Lindsay, Carla, and Ryan. Lindsay's going from that one, and Ryan will probably be next, so probably Carla will be the only one I have on that one, which I think Carla's going to be pretty good. She's doing so far so good. Baca, I picked Gabler, which he's still there. Ellie, which I regret now because I really don't care for the way she's playing. And Sammy. So out of the people that I picked, Cody has an idol on Vessi. Carla has the idol on Coco. And Gabler has the idol on Baca. So 3 of my people do have an immunity idol at this point. We'll see where that leaves us in a few weeks. Tell me what you guys think about the new seasons, how you like them, what you like, what you don't like. Like a conversation just to see, pick your brains and see if you're on the same page as me. Maybe you have a different opinion than I do. I'd love to hear it, so leave it in the comment section below. So, we saw on the previews, it looks like there's going to be some type of merge on Wednesday. What I did notice was the 2 mats. So, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing they did before, where one person can reset the game, you know, take the whole, everybody merges, half the tribe is safe, whoever wins that challenge is safe. But one person is picked to go to somewhere else and they can reverse it. And the ones that were not safe would be safe. And the ones that were safe would go to tribal council. So I don't know if they're going to do that again this year. Or if they're just going to split it into 2 tribes. But with all the extra crap that they've got on there now, I don't feel like we're getting old school version of the comps. I think we're seeing the same comps over and over and over. They don't seem to be as difficult as they have been in the past. And we don't get a lot of time on them because they're spending time on the journeys and they're spending time on the feel-good stories about why they're there. I just don't feel like we're getting a lot of gameplay like we used to get. But let me know what you think in the comments. So that's all I have for you guys right now. I am going to be doing 2 more videos hopefully today. If not today, it'll be tomorrow. I will have my challenge video out today with the Survivor video. And I'm also going to be working on a BravoCon video. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go live and have a post-BB24 update show or I may do a video. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you want the video or if you want the live for the BB24 updates. Post updates, whatever. Post season. So, you guys have a great week. And until next time, as always, much love.